She has her crew, she has her outfit, and you better believe she's got a plan. Coming up on this episode of We're No Damn Experts, we're talking with someone who's been at every Mimosa Showdown. She's given us her tips and tricks to make sure you get to try all of the unique creations and concoctions, and how to stay hydrated and well fed along the way. That's coming up.
Best damn podcast, the best damn town. You wanna get up, get ready to get down. With its big wide sky and the wild river Thames, if you wanna go, we can take you there to Great Falls, Montana.
Welcome to the greatest damn town in Montana, Great Falls. I'm Rebecca Ingham.
I'm Shannon Newth,
and we're No Damn Experts. And today, I have been wanting to do this for so long. And in much of my fashion, I waited way too long for them to be in person to do this.
Yeah.
Today, I'm going to say we have the godmother of the Mimosa Showdown
That's quite
in
a
Great
title.
Falls, Montana, only because this person, early adopter, big planner, organizer of outfits. And
Love that.
I am so proud to say that we have Caylee Jones on the podcast today
Yay!
talking about herself and Mimosa Showdown. Welcome, Caylee. Yay.
That's a huge title.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
I will also say this is a big deal. Caylee, you were our first sole on the phone guest that we've had. We've had one other person on the phone, but we also had a guest in studio. So Kaylee's also our first.
That's a lie, though.
Oh, well, since I've been here.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah. So, Shannon.
Never mind. Well, I'm giving you that title too. So thanks for being here, Caylee.
So
Thanks for having me.
All the listeners at home, give us a rundown of who Caylee Jones is. Like, who was your first crush, and what was your favorite outfit in 5th grade, and all the things. Or you could just skip ahead of why you were in Great Falls, where you are today, where we find you.
Let's learn about you.
Who's Caylee Jones?
So my husband's military, so we were there on the base at Maelstrom.
Okay, that makes sense. Yes.
Currently in Las Vegas,
Ooh.
Oh.
but we are very social people, so we did not stray from downtown.
Okay. So tell me, your mother, you've got kids at home, and you still said, no, girls, this day's about us. We're going to go out.
Get out.
What year was your first Mimosa Showdown?
So 2020 is a little fuzzy.
It is for all of us. Yes.
A real Mimosa Showdown or not, but we did get mimosas from there. And I was actually trying to look but I would say the first official one would be 21.
Okay. And you are right. We did do a Mimosa Showdown in 2020. It looked nothing like the Mimosa Showdowns that have followed.
It was correct me if I'm wrong, the way I remember it. They started the Take Down and Out Facebook page.
Yeah.
Yep.
To try and generate business for the small businesses during COVID. And then the Mimosa Showdown kind of just popped around in there, take away mimosas type thing. And I think it was the Inn Bar or the Block was doing these giant breakfast burritos. I have to have one of those. I mean, the thing is like bigger than your forearm. I don't know if you've ever seen that or remember that. And so that was probably our first experience with mimosa downtown.
Well, that is a good one. And then were you solo? Was it just you and your husband in 2020? Because when I found you, there was no boys in sight. Your supervisor came later in the day to pick you up.
So yes, it was just me and my husband that first year, and my partner in crime didn't come until 21 because she didn't live there yet. I hadn't met her.
Oh, okay. Makes sense. And so, honestly, 2021, you've got this new friend and you're like, hey, I think we should do this. And they're like, that seems like a lot. Or they were like, heck
All
yeah,
in.
I'm all in.
I'm pretty sure she was like, do you want to do this with me? And I was like, at the time, there wasn't as many. I think there wasn't even as maybe half of bars. And so, it didn't seem as crazy, but it was still a lot to like try and get through all the mimosas.
And by half,
Yeah.
will you share with the listeners how many there are
It's insane.
now? Not necessarily for this year, but what was the peak for you?
I have not made a place yet.
Oh, wow.
That's what I'm saying. That's
That
why
is
she's
dedication.
the godmother.
Okay, after we get through this, I'm going to need like Caylee's roadmap for trying all of them.
While I have made it to every location, I have not been able to try every mimosa.
Okay.
I think that might be a good
That's
plan,
probably smart.
Caylee.
Yeah.
Because we're talking last year we had 21,
Yeah. And there's
22?
like 25 this year.
Yeah, 25 this year, and we've grown. So I think
Yeah.
in 2021 we would have had maybe 15.
There was 6.
Yeah, 16 was the other number I was going to say. And 2021 was that the first year of your outfit as well.
Ooh.
So we did not do outfits until 22.
Oh.
We didn't do the tutus until 22. Didn't do the color, the hat, all.
What made you decide to go with the costumes?
So Tanya, which is my partner in crime, she's always with me. Everyone's like, if they see one without the other, they're like, whoa, hold on.
What's going on?
They don't recognize. She loves to do things larger than life, and like the most obscene, the better. I mean, I don't know if you guys have heard or seen pictures, but one year for her birthday, we went out and prom, like quinceanera prom dresses.
Oh my gosh.
It's snow on the ground, and we are just bar hopping in these big dresses. We go bowling at Little's. I mean, the men are in like suit jackets with sweats.
Perfect.
So yeah, she just loves to do over the top. And so one year she was like, we need to do tutus. I was like, all right. She's like, we need to do fancy. I was like, I'm also game for that.
So if she's the fun outfit girl, are you the planner then?
The
Because
strategic mind.
you have
Yes.
often been the first one to say, okay, girls, this is my route. Like, this is the way we're going to do this to get everything done. So tell me about that.
About my planning process.
Yeah, it has to be you, right?
Oh, it's 100%. It's a little psycho, I guess you would say, obsessive.
Perfect.
I just impatiently wait for the list to come out on who's participating. And I'll write down by who opens first. And I will admit, sometimes I will reach out to certain places. I'll do my annual, like, hey, this is me checking to see what time you open this year.
For real. And this is, let me just
amazing.
share, this is a good reason why Caylee does this, is because one year we got a submission that said, we're going to be open at 8 a.m.
And it was a lie.
Caylee and I are the only ones in the parking lot, and guess who else is not there? Anybody who works at that establishment.
Uh-oh.
And so all of a sudden on Facebook, I see the post. It's a lie. Like, it's a lie. They're not open. They don't open until 9.
Oh,
And so,
no.
So the pre-call, go ahead.
That's critical time that we're losing.
Absolutely.
When you said 8, we need to be, it's a delicate
if you
balance
can't
to get to
start-
22, 25 places.
Yeah.
I mean, especially when you have the Macs, which love them, but you got to plan. I had to plan around them, and that.
Yeah. So the first year the Max did it, did you make it to the Max and they had mimosas? Because by the time I got there, they were out.
We did.
Ooh.
See?
What about the Heidelberg?
Oh, yeah. Well,
Berg actually used to be our first stop.
Oh, okay.
And
Gotcha.
2 years. So I guess for 2 years they were first stop. And then Steinhouse ended up being our first stop for the 2 years after that. But this year they've decided not to open till 11, which I get.
Open times are critical to this.
It sounds like it.
Well, and I even have like dropped pins.
This is amazing.
So I can see like when because we'll do the outskirts. So okay, again, planning wise, we would do Steinhouse, and then our DD, which was usually my husband, but now Tanya's son is old enough to drive. Bless him, great boy. So he's our DD, but he would take us to the Steinhouse, and then we'd go to Magpie and Fifth and Wine and Annie's. Hit those up real quick because they get lines like quick.
I didn't even think about the lines. You are also planning to avoid the lines, which is
very
wasted time.
Absolutely.
The one I can't ever avoid, no matter how many times I've tried, is the Celtic Cowboy. We get stuck in that line every year. And then last year, I think it was Kellergeist when they did the whole immersive, which was fine. It was really cool. So, I mean, I'm glad they have lines. It's good for the business.
Right.
But trying to stay on plan, that makes it harder.
Yeah. We usually try and stay no longer than 30 minutes at each place.
Now, what things have you learned along the way? Because some people had to learn the hard way the first year that maybe you need to plan in a snack stop or have snacks along the way, because it turns out maybe 16 to 25 mimosas isn't a solid day plan.
Yeah.
So each place has gotten better about food, because before it wasn't a whole lot of take and goes. Pizzazz has always been great about that. But my advice is, see takeaway snacks, do it.
Yeah.
Grab it.
Because you can't waste time stopping to eat. You got to do it while you're moving.
We used to do fire as like our mid, and that's when we'd have a meal. But it just got to where we were taking, it just sounds so crazy. We were taking, stopping and waiting to eat, being served on. And it was just taking too much time. So Pizzazz is really great. I think last year was the first year I think it was Magpie did like breakfast burritos. We've done, what was the other place Wild Hair. I think their very first year they did food, and we did that. Actually, the funniest story I have about Wild Hair, thinking of it now, and I wish I had the camera footage. There wasn't just us, and they hadn't opened that second bar area yet, where like they have the patio and all of that. And she told me I could use the restroom that way. Well, you can't go in and out that door at the time. You could only go in, you couldn't go out. So I am stuck in this building, like separate building. And I'm like asking to help me, banging on the door. And at this point I'm a little tipsy. So I'm like, how do I get out? What's happening? Am I really stuck? I just don't understand it was a whole thing. And we watched the see me like physically panicking to get out.
Oh my gosh. So you're stuck inside the El Conejo spot, wasting precious time to get all the mimosas drank and pounding on doors to let you out, like you accidentally slept there the night before.
And are still just a little hungover from the night before.
I love that.
That's hilarious.
So you do a whole mimosa each trip? Like if you're gonna get a mimosa, do you drink the whole one, or are you and Tanya sharing?
So we usually share.
Smart.
But if it's one that we know that we will absolutely we will be like, okay, we want our own. Now the first year we decided, we didn't share. And the second, I actually have some very funny videos from after we got home. The second year we were like, okay, we're sharing. And then we ended up not sharing as many as we probably should have. The third year we had other people join us. So we were able to share a little bit more and a little more sound of mind, I guess. And here it was just the two of us again. And we ended up sharing a lot. But there's some good looking mimosas this year. So
Which let me ask this. In the past, what has been, I would say, the mimosa that you thought should have won that didn't?
Good question.
oh my gosh. I really, really enjoyed the farmer's daughter.
Oh, me too, Caylee.
Because we actually, so they sell that habanero in their store. It's a habanero like concentrate. I buy it anytime I'm there. It is so good. And I've even tried to like recreate it. It doesn't work out because who has the time to actually make like little chamoy ice cubes? They went all out. And I was really sad they decided not to keep going.
So, Caylee, one of the things that I have suggested about that mimosa, because it still in infamy in my mind, I would have sat and drank it all day. It was so fantastic. They did that kind of in partnership with the Kellergeist, and I have been begging both Candace and Kellergeist to put that mimosa on their menu at the Kellergeist for a percentage of the sales to then benefit the Sisters United Foundation that she has, just so I can drink it again. And this still has yet to happen, but it is still my dream, and I've now shared it with Caylee, and Caylee will also help me move this dream forward.
Yeah.
If I were to pull up messages and maybe Tanya's, we have Facebook messages of us harassing basically farmer's daughter. Tell me how you made this. I need the recipe. Please make it some more. Like we feel the same way you do.
Okay. Tell me what so it has the habanero. What was it?
It had like a tahini rim, a habanero concentrate, which again they sell, and there's a bunch of different flavors. They're like these little amber bottles. And they just made like chamoy circle ice cubes. I mean, it was really simple, but still really good.
Had a little bit of a mango splash to it, but it was a very
mango
habanero. That's what it was.
So I'm gonna say this, acting like I'm really smart, but I'm not. But it had a real earthy flavor to it. Like it was not. It was.
Was it spicy then?
It had a kick to it, but it wasn't spicy.
Okay.
Like you wouldn't drink it and go, ooh, but it had the perfect mix of like fruit and mellowness and spiciness.
I love a mango anything.
And it just felt like you were drinking a piece of the world.
Which is appropriate.
I was going to say, Tracy's did one, maybe 22, that was a spicy, it was spicy something. And that one was, I like spice and habanero and all that kind of stuff. And that, maybe it was a jalapeno. Anyways, it was really good too.
One of the other ones that I thought should have won was the watermelon one that was either the block or N bar. I can't remember.
Are you talking about the one that was, I think it was, what's out there in the outskirts? That 21? Who was that?
Well, we had Heidelberg in 21. We also had, did we have Street Burgers in 21? No.
Opt out. It's the bar that is on that main road that Walmart.
The Do bar.
The Do bar. Did you try their watermelon one?
I didn't make it to that one.
It was, we were really, really sad that they didn't do it the year after, because they only did it the first year, I think.
Yep.
And it was fresh, like the freshest watermelon drink I've had. And I spilt mine, actually. I just straight drank it right on the top. And that was like my second mimosa. And I was like, what's happening?
Yeah.
How did I drop it?
How am I already stumbling after my second mimosa?
And it was so good. I was sad.
Caylee, do you try to make any at home, or what's your like dream concoction?
So I think that's kind of how the mimosa thing came about, is Tanya and I we exclusively talk through Facebook Messenger. I don't know why. I don't even think I had her number until like a year for And we lived across the street from each other.
Oh my gosh.
And we talked every day. Anywho, if you were to type in Mimosa into the search history of Facebook Messenger, I think there's over 200 results just from our conversation alone. It got to the point to where we had to figure out, and this is going to make us sound like alcoholics, but we had to figure out how to get almost wholesale prices for champagne.
Oh.
Like Sam's Club and just looking up different prices because we went through a good bit. My favorite, like I said, I would buy that mango habanero from Farmer's Daughter, and then just the classic orange juice. And at the house, I mean, if we're out, I do like to try a different concoction.
My husband, Caylee, we did some afternoon fun one day. And we were at the Magpie, and it was a fall, and one of their drinks was a caramel apple mimosa.
Oh.
And my husband got one, loved it so much, he got a second. And that was upon other drinks that he had that day, because we had lunch at the Wild Hare, which then also included some different mimosas there as well. And then he was in bed asleep at 5:30.
Mimosa days are definitely early nights.
So he told me that the mimosa poisoned him and he will never drink one ever again. And I said,
grief. Come on, Robert.
Now, I will say mimosas can be a little bit much if you're not used to them, because they are a little bit more sugary,
Sneak up on you.
especially if you're going to drink caramel apple ones,
Very sugary,
which then are also added some sugar. But he has now sworn off mimosas of any kind. He used to come out with me. He does not anymore. I suggested, hey, you want to do Mimosa Showdown with me this year? And he looks at me and he goes, I'm never drinking that vile crap ever again. And I'm like, but he also said the same thing about, the Mongolian barbecue where you put all the things in the bowl that you want to eat and then they cook it for you and then give it back to you in a bowl. The first time he ate that, he's like, this is disgusting. I'm never eating it again.
It
I'm
was
like,
his choice.
you put all the stuff in there.
Yeah.
He goes now, but it took some time.
Oh my goodness.
So
If you've never been before, I like to try things twice, especially something like that, because you could have done it wrong.
Totally.
Yeah. So that's what we've learned.
Mm-hmm.
Now, let me ask you this, Caylee. Before experiencing Mimosa Showdown, were you a basic mimosa girl that turned fancy, or had you always had that fancy mimosa gene in you?
I would say somewhat fancy. If I go out even before then and I see, different types of mimosas, I'm definitely inclined to try it. Same with martinis. I'd love to try like a martini. But going on him being hungover or feeling like hungover because of sugar, I'm not going to say at my age, but before we go, I have to take Prilosec.
Oh no.
Entire thing of Gatorade. Because mimosas are on the sugary end. And some of those mimosas, if you really look at them, they have tequila, they have beer.
Yeah.
It's not just champagne. And mixing those, that's dangerous business.
Territory there.
So let's talk about 2025. The list is out. You have had time to peruse it and dig through it. I'm sure Tanya has looked at the list and determined where we're, which ones need to be had first. Mm-hmm. But you guys don't do you do geographic firsts and line first, not necessarily drink first.
Favorite one first.
So what's the plan for 2025?
So yes, and I think it's never really bitten us about doing however you say, location wise, other than the first year because Pizzazz ran out before we got there, and I know she really wanted to try that one. Anyways, I think this year we're gonna stick with the Magpie, Annie's, Fifth and Wine. Well, not Annie's because they're opening late this year. So I think we're going to do Fifth and Wine, Magpie, and then go on the outskirts
Okay.
and hit those I normally do and come back. The station should be open by the time we're done. That's a new one. I'm actually, since I don't live there anymore, I'm actually really excited to check it out.
Yeah,
It looks
it's really cool.
So it opened after you left, like open for business after you left. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Oh, you're going to love it.
Yeah, it's super cool.
And like whoever does their social media is doing a great job on so we'll do that. The only one, my goal this year, obviously besides hitting them all, is to hopefully get to Sip and Dip before they run out. That is my one goal.
That's a good goal.
I have never, even the first 21, have been able to get a Sip and Dip mimosa.
What time do they open and compared to the other ones?
They're late
11.
open.
Okay.
They're an 11 open,
Okay, so
which
that's
is
tricky.
late for us that start at the 8 a.m.
Yeah.
Because last year, halftime was new and they opened at 8. So they were my first stop last year. And I walked in there at 8:15, 8:30. And they are open on the weekends anyway for breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
And so I didn't know if it was a breakfast crowd that they normally have or if it was purely Mimosa Showdown freaks, 8 a.m. And so I'm waiting for a table. I'm waiting for a spot at the bar to open up so I can go and order and get my mimosa. And I asked one of the servers, I'm like, is it usually pretty busy on Saturdays? She's like, no, this is insane. There's the mimosa thing happening today and there's all these people. And I'm like,
That's why I'm here.
I think that's one of my favorite parts about a business bar joining, and it's their first year, and they're like, I remember with the Max, their first year, they only made, I think, like 2 gallon, those little drink dispensers at parties. And they were like, we just didn't think we would run out. I'm like, oh, you ran out before? I think it was even before 11, unfortunately for them. But that's one of my favorite parts is like businesses finding out exactly what it's like for them.
I think they just never have any idea. And Grady at the Fire Pizza is one who he will go to people on their first year. He goes, you need to know, it's crazy. He goes, I underestimated it. You will underestimate it. Even when I tell you how many people are going to come, you won't believe me and you're going to underestimate and you're going to be wrong. And so he's kind of this preacher poster child of it's going to be bad. No matter how bad you think it is, think 300 times worse than what you think because it's going to be a lot of people. And so
they need to take that also even crazier because he's, I would say, on the outskirt. He's not right on the walk line. You kind of have to go off to get to him. I mean, unless you plan on going to Little's now. But yeah, so they really need to take what he says like even deeper.
So part of my fun ahead of time is looking at the names that these businesses choose to pick for theirs. Like this year, there's Super Dork is one of the names. Monkey Moon. Do you have favorite names, and does that play any part in your experience?
The only thing I really look at is what's in it and if we're going to share it or not.
Yeah.
If we're not beer drinkers, and I'm a really dark beer drinker. And so if it has beer, we'll usually share that one. If it has like hard liquor other than champagne, we'll share that one. That's really all I look at. Now, super fun. And, but I honestly, there's not many that I can, like off the top of my head, that stick with me. The Super Dork one is really funny though.
Is there one on this year's list that you've seen where you're like, this is unique? I want to make sure that we get one of these.
It's been a while since I've looked at what the mimosas are, but there are a few. I'll have to pull up the list because I feel like now
you have to be on the spot.
Well, and there's so many though too, and so many different creators. It's kind of hard to keep track.
Well, there's 25 options this year.
Yeah.
Which is the most we've ever had. I don't know where it ends. I don't know if we get to 65, but I mean, I think one of the comments Caylee's group made was we need to have 26 to make it a marathon.
Perfect.
I've recently got into my TikTok For You page is all about marathons. And so I was like, how funny would it be if there was 26 this year and the shirt that I'm making could be like, I just ran a marathon.
That's amazing. That should be the goal, 26 in 2026.
I think we can make it happen.
Yeah.
We'll just have one at the house. We usually drink something coffee related, like Tanya calls it a shaft in the morning. It's vodka and coffee basically, but
oof. So you're you are pre-gaming before a day.
And this is like the Super Bowl of drinking.
Right.
Like it's a big day of consuming flavors. And you're flying in for this event. Is there other things that are happening that you're like, oh, well, I can come do X, Y, and Z and then do the Mimosa Showdown? Or you're like, girl, I'm going to be there for the Mimosa Showdown, rally the troops so we can do some other stuff while I'm there.
So Tanya is actually just found out they're moving overseas.
Oh.
And so when we found that out, we really twisted her husband's arm and we're like, can we make this happen? And then both her husbands are like, I don't know, because she has to be there by the end of the month. So really, for me, it's just flying in. For her, there's a lot happening. And she's leaving at like 6 a.m. on Monday to go to work. So this should just really be a testament of how fun it is, and just whether if you're like, I'm going to pop in for a mimosa or two, or if you really are trying to go all out like we do. I don't know. It's just so fun to me. Like, I don't fun. Obviously.
Yeah. What are the things you wish were part of the Mimosa Showdown that aren't yet? Because we've heard some crazy suggestions. One is they want an official annual Mimosa Showdown t-shirt with all the locations on the back, so you can check them off on your shirt. Like the bar can check it off that you've been there. What are your ideas of the things we should be doing?
So I did the t-shirt one year. I made my own. I don't know if you guys saw that.
Nice.
That was actually really fun too. It made me feel like I had, like, we can't fail, because that's silly. I can't not mark off my shirt. I don't really think I have the sticker thing. I think y'all do during the Christmas stroll. That would be really cool too. Collect stickers. I don't know necessarily a shirt.
Okay. We added the hydration stations at some of the retail locations last year to try and keep the drunkenness down a little bit.
And I see the pedaling trolley, which I was really excited about, because even though I've never ridden it, the trolley is an amazing idea.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we did. You would have probably been on it. Back when we had the historic trolley, we had the hop on, hop off pass, and it did a route throughout town to get you into some of those places outside of town. Didn't work as flawlessly as we would like. It ate up a lot of time. And as we've kind of reinforced today, is that time is really important.
You can't relax. You got to go. Just kidding.
There's a lot of places to get to.
Yeah.
Again, I've cut off conversations. Can we carry on while we walk? Can we finish this on the walk over?
Yeah. Now, is it just you and Tanya, or is it a bigger group this year?
So this year it is the biggest group we've had. We're going to have 7 of us.
Oh. Okay, tell us, can you give us a little preview of outfits?
So the tutus, of course.
Obviously.
Tanya, our OG hats that I made the first year. And I don't really want to tell you what the t-shirts are per se.
We'll find it and we'll get a photo. Don't you worry none.
But bright yellow shirts and tutus, it's us.
And you are, obviously our listeners can't see this, but you are wearing a Mimosa shirt as we record today.
Yes. And I love this phrase on it because it says quick mimosa, which normally wouldn't be a thing, but for Mimosa Showdown, it
Quick
is
is key.
absolutely important.
So, I know the listeners can't see it, but it's in a text bubble, like an iPhone text bubble. And the reason for that is, like I said previously, we have so many texts. And that is actually a phrase that comes up more often than just quick mimosa, because there's times where, we had 20 minutes before the kids came home from school because we were both stay-at-home moms. We've had, we were on a bowling league, and we would do like a team meeting, and we would just text each other, quick mimosa. And that means just come over, got 20 minutes to slam a mimosa.
I envision you two just like meeting in the middle of the street between your houses, like one with orange juice, one with the champagne. You each with your glass, and you pour, drink, and then separate from the middle of the row.
When you see the bus coming, yeah.
We've done like drop-offs at each other's front doors. Like, oh, here's a mimosa for you. Finish up whatever you're like. We say, I can't come play until I'm done with my chores. Yeah. Drink mimosa while you do your chores, and then we can go play.
That's amazing.
Caylee, what would you say is the one mimosa creation that you really wish someone would come up with? Like, what are the elements that you're hoping to see eventually? Because honestly, this is our 6th year. A lot of mimosas over those years have been created. And I think maybe 0.5% have been, not even that, probably less than that, maybe 1 or 2 repeats ever in the history.
Which is crazy.
So the creativity is getting pretty big. But what things haven't you seen? What ingredients would you want to be seeing next year that you haven't already seen?
So you had asked me previously about what I'm excited, and I would say the same one I'm excited about is kind of one that I'd love to see, the lychee one. I think it's called the White Lotus. What is that? Is it Inbar that's doing that one?
Let me look. Let me see if I can find it.
On it. But I love the, so it's White Lotus from the Inbar. I love the different fruits coming into play instead of just, I don't want to say the same old, because classics are classics for a reason. But I love the lychee and I don't know how to explain it, but just the obscure fruits that you just don't normally buy. That's what I like to see.
And then they're making some kind of juice about it or puree or something that's in there.
This one's going to have dragon fruit in it from Mighty Mo.
Yeah, that one sounded, I was just looking at that one. That sounds real good to me.
I love the edible glitter.
Yeah.
That people are.
That's appeared in the past, and I do love that as a feature.
See, I'm excited about from Ribbon Chop, the old Razzle Dazzle.
Yeah, that one sounds fun.
Raspberry and jalapeno. See, I don't even have to dream up.
They've done it for you.
Passion fruit.
Yeah. Keller Geist did one year with cotton candy. And I know that was one someone, one of the co-founders of the event said, we need to do a mimosa with cotton candy on top and all this. And I'm like, good Lord.
Well,
and then lo and behold,
is that the cloud one you're talking about that they were explaining? Yeah.
And they put like clouds all over their ceiling and balloons. Mateo really goes all. Any event he does, like, I don't know if you'll remember one year he brought sand to his patio.
That does not surprise me.
I think he was doing like drag queen beach thing, luau thing. Sand, like beach to his.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I think when you enhance the drink with the atmosphere around it, like here's the drink and then here is the theme of the decor. The year that we did Down the Rabbit Hole at Kellergeist was the system, the process, they did it in a way that you had to go get your ticket to make it flow a little bit easier. Kellergeist is at their OG place. So on the 100 block of Central again. And so it's a smaller venue and they created this little Alice in Wonderland experience that forces you through the bar to get your drink and then back out. Yeah. So I don't know what this year will look like, but you can expect some craziness and time-consuming effort to get your drink.
For sure.
but we're worth it. Like I really enjoy this. I will be interested to see how Wild Hair does on that take compared to them. And I don't like to compare places because again, they're their own separate thing, but I'm interested to see if they try to take it more immersive or if they are just drink.
Well, the drink has always done well for me. Last year was the first year I shared. So that's a tip out of Caylee's playbook. I think that's a great idea.
For sure.
We still stopped for food, which ate into our timing, so we didn't make it to as many.
Yeah.
But I did have my mother with me, so probably fine that a woman of a certain age isn't consuming that much drink, and then I have to go and put her to bed before 6 o'clock,
Yeah.
that type of thing.
That seems smart to stop for food.
Yeah.
Pace yourself.
It does.
Mm-hmm.
So who's going to be your designated driver to get you to all your places?
Tanya's oldest.
Okay.
Okay.
So he's back on duty.
What are your go-to snacks to bring with you? What makes a good on-the-go snack for Mimosas?
So I actually have not packed snacks before.
Oh,
She finds food and gets it.
Oh, okay. I thought you were I thought you were bringing it with you.
No. Her tip is if you see to-go food, you
grab
get it.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, a protein bar or even a cheese stick. Cheese sticks are one of those things. They don't actually have to be kept cold. They're fine. It's fine. But yeah, I mean, again, Montana's not a hot place. Your cheese won't get sweaty. But for Zaz, they always do a great job doing those little charcuterie cups or boxes. Sure. Who else did little takeaways? I don't remember, but they usually do. You can find food easily.
Well, and the other thing is at the hydration stations, they'll have a little grab and go snack pack there. So a fruit snack or a small bag of crackers or something. So they'll usually have something there for you to grab in addition to the water.
Smart.
New this year, Caylee won't need them, but maybe you want to take something home. But the Home Tana has got their Mimosa shirt line on display, ready to be purchased. So if you aren't as creative as Caylee and her team, you can still go buy a shirt from Home Tana. It's got the Mimosa saying. She's got a whole line set up for that. So that's a good idea too.
Good work, Kirsty.
Yeah, we're proud of her. So will you come into town and pregame Friday or is it just fluids? Is it just going to be Gatorades,
all liquid diet,
water, and then ready to go Saturday morning?
So we're actually staying in an Airbnb downtown.
Oh,
right
that's great.
Because Tanya won't have anywhere to live at that point, so we had to. I think it would be a shame if we don't go out. So we'll probably, one of our favorite bars when we're not doing the Mimosa Showdown is Ike's and Susan's.
Oh,
we found that by chance, and so we'll definitely have to hit that up and probably have dinner there and just do the rounds. We usually do like a full-on drink at Little's, drink at Snit's, because you can walk to both places, and then the City Bar. So we probably will end up doing that too the night before.
Those are good places. And I will make a shout out to the City Bar. Their mimosas have been fairly, I would say, consistently in the top for me as to good drink options.
Just solid.
But then the other thing that I will denote is Brad and his team always make sure there's snacks out available. So they got a little homemade snack mix.
I love that snack mix.
Yeah, you get that in your mouth as you're drinking your mimosa.
See, that is a good place to go where you know you're going to get a good snack.
The City Bar is our last stop.
Ooh.
It has been our last stop for all 4 years now. And yeah, they do wonderful. The snack thing has done us good. And then we always have a fireball shop to
end it off. I mean, I don't know if there's a better way to do a Mimosa Showdown than the Caylee Jones plan.
Yeah. You have it down and you have a plan and I love it.
So are we about the pedal trolley.
So
It looks
the deal with the pedal trolley is it is happening. It is a $5 hop on, hop off wristband. The chauffeur or the driver of that night or that day is going to be the owner herself, Sandra Johnson Thayers. All the wristbands are sold out. So if you don't already have one, you're not getting
out
on
of
the
luck.
trolley.
Yeah.
oh no.
But it will be entertaining to watch that.
Oh,
through downtown.
100%. I don't know if Sandy's going to kick people off like early and go, you people are done. You've tested my patience.
You got to do like a brief test before you're allowed to pedal.
Right. I hopped on. I saw a post that they had made that if you are too drunk to pedal, you cannot stay on.
No.
I mean, yeah.
Because here's the deal, Caylee, I don't know if you've listened to our podcast in the past, but Sandra's been on, and it's a 14-seat pedal trolley, and everybody needs to pedal in order for this thing to go. It is motor assisted, but it is not a motored thing, and there are only 4 seats on the trolley that don't have pedaling capability, meaning you have pedals, but they just don't do anything where the other pedals do. And so no one knows what 4 seats those are.
And I could imagine later in the day, like between, 8, 9 o'clock, you're doing good. But I want to see by like the noon hour how that trolley's doing.
The hordes of people that are roaming the streets during Mimosa Showdown and their varying levels of cognition are pretty impressive. It is a sight to behold.
This is a good people watching day too. Is that what you're saying?
I will actually say I'm surprised that there hasn't been like a block off anywhere yet. Because I mean, I feel bad for people driving down there. I mean, you're not going to turn for a while.
No.
At a red light, you're not going for a while because there's just going to be.
Well, nobody's really paying attention to the white or red person that's there telling you to walk or not walk. There isn't that. And for some reason, still Great Falls PD has not shut us down. So
it's kind of a surprise.
Thanks be to God for that. Because there is some fun happening. And I will say, even as much fun as being had, there's not been like brawls and
knock on wood,
weird things that are happening. It's all still been fairly
maybe because
tame,
it's in the
fun.
spirit of mimosa and not like cheap beer.
Well, and that's what when people talk about it. Like I've done pub crawls at other places in the past, and maybe because it's during the day, you have a different vibe. I don't know, but it's not. Like you said, there is it's good. It's fun. I wouldn't say clean fun, but it's definitely good fun. Like I haven't met anyone nasty while I'm walking around. I haven't met like anyone being impatient or, like upset that Mimosa has ran out or just whatever. Cause I mean, I remember one year Snits had run out of their toppers, I think it was. And I mean, everyone loves I think it was a peach ring. Everyone loves a good peach ring. And no one they're like, oh, okay, that's fine.
You can't be mad if you're, drinking mimosas all day.
So you also mentioned that you're a martini girl. How well do you think a martini showdown would go?
Oh, that would probably.
That sounds dangerous.
I don't know. Martinis, even sharing, like that would be.
That's a bit much. So with that said, many people have said you should do another one. What's another drink you can do like we've done with the Mimosa Showdown that isn't too much?
That's not going to kill you.
Obviously, beer is the classic of a pub crawl showdown thing. But then you have the beer fest right after.
Yep, that's in June.
So I mean that's similar. I mean if you could maybe wrap it into one, like I don't know how you would word that, and I think they already kind of do it. Like you have to try at each place, at each booth, which again people mostly do anyways. I don't know other drink.
People have said Caesars. I am I am a fan of the Caesar / Bloody Mary, but I think the only creativity comes in the
garnish.
Yeah, the garnishing that you can put in there.
And I'm not sure you could do 25 different Caesars. Like that's got to be a smaller pool for that.
No, the Clamato juice for me gets a little filling.
Yeah.
And then seems to have some sodium in it. So then I start to swell up like a...
You need some like electrolyte stations, not just water stations.
It's not, I love them. I will drink them all day long. And there is some creativity in the, cucumber vodka or pickle vodka or pepper vodka.
But it's more about the garnish.
Yeah, I think. And then all of a sudden you've got this 8-course meal on top of your drink that you got to try to get through before you drink it. And
the wild hair is good at that.
Yeah, I just don't see that being a 25 option
You're
thing.
You're get too full for that.
Yeah.
There's no to really grow that one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Caylee, we are excited that you're coming.
Yeah.
I am so excited that we finally got you on the podcast. I am sad it didn't happen before you moved because it would have been funner to have you in studio, but we
could have
fun.
had What were we thinking? We should have been drinking mimosas while we were recording this episode.
Well, Kaylee's not here. I mean, maybe she is.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe she is. And we just didn't see.
And I was like, I don't know if I can drink on the show, so I didn't make one.
We have before when we've had beer and whiskey.
We have. And then we have had the Christmas mimosas from Fifth and Wine.
Fifth and Wine. We did have
Tara
those.
brought those in so we could sample all 4 of those.
So it's an occurrence.
Yeah, it happens every now and again. Only when our guests bring stuff in.
Yeah, that's true.
But it's going to be awesome. I can't wait to see your outfits this year. I inevitably run into Caylee at some point.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like your crew's hard to miss.
Well, 7.
Yeah, I'm with how many I have.
Yeah. 7 strong is going to be pretty amazing. And
we'll see if we all end up to the end or if we have some strays wander off.
Do you have any first timers in your group?
I believe they all are first timers
besides
me. Yeah.
That'll be fun.
They've been prepped.
They've gone through orientation.
We gotta go. We gotta go.
Yeah, I did orientation for my team as well. I'm like, here's
your team of
the
you
deal.
And your mom?
Oh no, we've brought other people
okay.
in. But we're very focused. I'm like, I need to understand what your thoughts are, how you want to do this. There's 25 locations. Do you want to try to get them all? Are there certain ones you're interested in? You want to make sure we hit? Like, I'm the planner. I'm going to organize to make sure we get to places. But then also it's part of like my job kind of to see how things are going.
Yeah.
So I want to be able to see what the crowd looks like at 8 a.m. at the halftime,
Yeah.
And then have people frantically start crying like, it's the Mimosa Showdown and I didn't have any idea that there's all these people.
No.
And like, oh, you're not usually this busy on Saturday morning.
Apparently
no, we're not.
The press club is new as well. And that opened up, or I haven't heard about that. Can you give me a little, they're not on social media that I could find.
Yeah, so the press club was an incubator at Pizzazz. So the little bar that's at Pizzazz, the press club was there, and they do fresh pressed juices. So like cucumber and other things that you wouldn't like buy off the shelf, and it is fantastic. They do a mixology of different juices, and they've got a whole kind of menu of that. And so they have moved out of Pizzazz into their own location. And my understanding is he's got a pretty good system now where he's not hand making each juice. He like preps the juice, and then you push a button and you get the juice out. And so it's almost a self-serve. Like he's going to give you a glass. You put your champagne in it. I don't know if you pick how much or
it says grab a glass of their champagne and then add fresh squeezed juice at the touch of a button.
So you get to select from their juices of basically the fresh, the pressed juice that he has done, and then make your own mimosa from that standpoint. And that go ahead.
From that, it sounds like it's going to be one that may run out.
Oh,
might. I don't know how much he's prepping beforehand because it's obviously more than juice and he's a first timer. So he's maybe not heeding the sky is falling advice that Grady would give. And it is between, like, if you were shopping, it's between the Blue Rose and Gray & Co. And it's a great little location. So you do Pizzazz and then the Press Box, Press Club. Press Box is a bar in Missoula. Press Club, and then you have the next block, which then would be Snits and City and Fire and that. So
I'm glad I asked because that's not at all what I thought it was. So
yeah, well now you know, and now you as listeners know all the ins and outs of what could happen. So, Caylee, looking forward to seeing you in Great Falls. And folks, if you have not planned to become part of Mimosa Showdown 2025, it's next week. It's May 17th. And if you're not doing it, you're not doing it right. So with that, until we see your bright, smiling, happy, healthy faces here in our fair, fair city, we hope you are creating amazing memories with your friends and family, wherever you might be. See you soon.
We're No Dam Experts is the recorded claims from Great Falls, Montana, covering what you need to know about this amazing damn town. Damn, that felt good.